AI has started doing, writing emails, sending messages, and now what's next? Is it saving planet?
Destroy the planet.
Do you think businesses are moving towards the change for real?
Ways that students have cheated on school.
Do not cheat.
At least give a proper prompt.
AI is doing everything these days, writing, designing, emailing, and even thinking for us sometimes. So we decided to give AI something really small, like saving the planet. We moved social responsibility from a buzzword to a measurable impact. Joining us today is Dr. Rodrigo Kobayashi. Dr. Rodrigo Kobayashi is award-winning professor at ESEC who practices and specializes in social innovation. Not only does he teach the leaders of tomorrow, but also he spends a lot of his time to provide his services at ESEC Incubator, helping startups and founders align with their mission of impact. Today, we are talking about the S in the ESEC and how companies can innovate for the better of society. Dr. Rodrigo, welcome to the podcast, and we'll do the introduction section later.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, welcome. So let's begin with understanding that. So AI has started doing writing emails, sending messages, planning dates. And now what's next? Is it saving planet? So what do we know about the sustainability in terms of AI? Is it going to do it? Is it okay to believe that AI is going to save the planet? What is the next thing?
I have goosebumps whenever you ask me those type of questions. I think AI per se is not going to save the planet. I think it's going to help destroy the planet, if you want to call it this way.
Oh.
So I think it can go both ways. But I think in terms of sustainability, sometimes I hear that we should not be using that much ChatGPT because it creates a lot of carbon emissions, which is true.
Right.
But AI has a lot of advantages, like we can monitor a lot of our supply chain. We know our different data points everywhere. And it's not just gathering, it's also processing this information for us to take better decisions, and therefore aiming towards a good sustainability objective.
Right. To begin with, what first drew you towards working with the sustainability and the AI tangent put together?
That's a very good question. I think it was kind of there was not a crisis specifically that happened. It was like kind of natural. I started to work on sustainability about 20 years ago. And at the time, we just call it like a little bit of climate change and then a bit like sustainable development.
Right.
And therefore, we were always missing information about what we can do, what is happening. And the moment that technology starts to be part of this to help us gather this information, that's whenever AI jumps in and says, okay, now we can do this massively and we can process this information. We have a better picture of what is happening. So it was kind of natural.
Right.
Now,
so when you say climate change, how is AI helping us deal with climate change? What are we doing with the AI?
That's a very good question. We can do a bunch of, first starts with the collecting data. It's not AI per se, it's the Internet of Things.
Right.
We now have a lot of sensors.
Right.
You can use AI to produce those sensors better.
Right.
But whenever you have those sensors everywhere and then you have a bunch of Excel things, you have millions of lines. At the beginning, you can only trace specific tendencies.
Right.
You can use specific statistics. And you can interpret it based on the context. Now, with AI, you have all these data points that can be matched with much more data that we can humanly handle. And we said, okay, this is happening in this part of the world, and it's much clearer because we have more reference right now. So we start to have much information, temperature information, the natural fertilizers, the type of soil and compost that you have, the type of emissions that your bosses are taking on the supply chain, how people feel whenever they work on that specific things. So we have much knowledge.
Right. So when you say bosses, it reminds me of the startups and owners and founders and businesses who are trying to get into social innovation. How serious do you think these companies are, or is it just a facade where they're just trying to talk about sustainability and AI together just to be the trend? Or do you think there is some movement in the industry towards it on a serious note?
That's a very good question. I think it's both. I think people or startups that they don't know what to do and they just call themselves sustainable, they're usually not sustainable.
Yeah.
I think sustainability, you have to prove it.
Yeah.
If it's not, if you say like, okay, my carbon emissions are 30% less in the sector, therefore you are more sustainable than the others. That doesn't mean you're sustainable percent. Right. But whenever you say like, we are just a green company, and you put everything green, and then you don't do anything, you just, or you're lagging behind because these technologies changes so often that if you don't, it's not doing the investments. It's like they need to invest on the culture for you to keep up with what is happening.
So going back to understanding the shift, and when we say the change is a very big and diversely used word, how do you think AI is going to make this change in the business perspectives? Because business owners or company owners claim to make a change, but how do you think their impact is going to be recorded, and what is the role of AI in it?
Vaishnavi. There's too many answers. I think.
Yeah. It's a long question.
It's a long question. Can you make it more specific?
So let's speak it like, do you think businesses are moving towards the change for real?
Not necessarily at this point.
And are they using AI to make it happen?
I don't think there are specific parts of the companies that are moving some more the use of AI. There is still a huge reluctancy to use AI because they don't know. There's a lot of security problems. There might be confidential issues that they cannot share the data. So I think, yes, you challenge, you're like, please challenge this email, how I'll make it better.
Yeah.
But rather than this, I think the adoption of AI has not been fully developed or developed on a specific. There are going to be industries that cannot be, for example, restaurants, hospitality industry. AI. I mean, you are based on human relationship, and this is going to be the base of the business. Nevertheless, there are other industries like logistics, like software industry that can be highly adopting this type of issues, but not all the industries, and it's going to take a while. Now, that depends what we understand about AI. If we understand AI just an LLM that's going to help you to shift specific things or thoughts that you have, or you have agentic AI that actually goes and start to perform tasks for you. So I think it's very general what we think about AI.
So let's dig into a little bit more specification. Have you heard of this AI which is having the record of the entire planetary geographical data, and now it can detect where you can find the respective minerals? For example, in recently one of the social media information that I got, I don't remember the name of this AI, but this could detect like where exactly is the gold mine from the surface, satellite surfaces, and it predicts that there is more possibility for the gold mines to be accumulated here, and then they did start digging it, and they did find out. So what's your take on
I haven't heard of this, but I think it's the type of narrow down the probabilities for like a specific geo phenomenon could happen. I think this could be one of the ways. I didn't hear about that specific one of the gold that I think you could come up with. It has to be a business. But for example, there are other AIs that are based on the temperature, based on the reaction. Now, for example, we start to believe that the ocean is alive itself. And now there has been academic papers that start to defend the ocean as a legal personality that has the right to defend itself.
Understandable. Can we expect like a quick business model? Who do you think can get into this kind of social innovation? Like, for example, when you're saying, when we know that businesses like restaurants need a lot of human interaction, but which kind of businesses do you think can?
I think depends where you want to use AI.
Right.
I think most of the business right now could use AI to simplify. To, for example, first of all, it's like the kind of a customer relationship is not the human interaction, but the system around it.
Right.
To have a better understanding what your customer wants, how much they could pay. That's something that, for example, agentic AI is really good at.
Right.
Before we just have average, now you know that these people, thanks to their profile, they're able to pay 10, 15, 20% more for the same products that they have to pay. That's the first thing. Second thing, I think in sustainability, there's a lot of issues that AI can attack. For example, with the new regulations in Europe, that right now less enterprises are kind of concerned for a strict reporting. We have much more flexibility, but that pressure starts to be part of the SMEs.
Right.
So SMEs and reporting and sustainability, that's something definitely AI can have a great impact.
That's amazing. To know the first things first, when we are saying businesses, what is the biggest mistake founders are making when they are entering the market with the term sustainability?
Wow, there's a lot.
Yeah.
I can come up with at least two.
Yeah.
First, they think sustainability sometimes is just planting trees.
Oh.
And say like, we're
Save the
sustainable. We're just gonna go there to take a picture, and then we can use the term sustainability.
Right.
So, and that has become kind of a practice on the market. So
Right.
that's why a lot of greenwashing out there.
Right.
Again, I insist, if they say like they're very sustainable, most of the time they're not, because they don't even know how to trace their carbon emissions, scope 1, 2, 3. There's something that the regulation set out of their mind. For them, it's just like greenwashing sustainability, and they just put a tree on it. That's the first one.
Yeah.
Second one, I think on the opposite side, some of them, they think it's really hard to do it.
Yeah.
And they don't want to fall in the bullshit of the
Right.
greenwashing, so
Right.
they don't do anything.
Right.
They're like, no, this is going to be too hard for me. I'm going to wait until I get a specific time of a level
Right.
to get into sustainability. What happens? Spoiler alert, they never do.
Right.
So, so either you use it, you're prostituting the terminology, or you
Right.
don't do it because it's really hard.
Right. I know what you mean. So do you think, how important is data building when we are coming up with a company who's claiming that we are socially innovating?
What do you mean, Vaishnavi?
So when I'm saying social innovation, so there's a lot of companies who claim that they are green and they are helping the planet, like you say, they put a tree on it. But when it comes to actually presenting some data, how do you think the company should build the data?
It's a very interesting point.
Right.
I think whenever we hear the word sustainability, sometimes we think it's just environmental,
Right.
because it's very visible,
Right.
People is very aware, but the social side is not necessarily there. So I would say, think all the enterprise, they have a social impact.
Right.
You think this way in different levels, right? But I would say most of the products and the business model can be also good to improve the social conditions and the specific populations.
Right.
So I would say, for example, if you can start with philanthropy. Philanthropy is a great way to start to spread the culture and say, okay, we're having a social impact.
Right.
And once that you are donating something, you start to be aware that there's more stakeholders around that actually might need the most, and you can be something very useful. For example, the case of Dell. Dell, they say, okay, we have these computers and we sell these servers. This is amazing, but also there can be some schools that actually need this data.
Right.
So this is the first stage.
Right.
Second one, I think social, impactful businesses can be integrated within the enterprise on human resources, for example.
Right.
First of all, diversity. Whenever we say, like, we're very sustainable, we're very diverse, and then you see a picture of the whole team and everyone are just the same.
Right.
Diversity is a huge term, and the more diverse the team, if you can handle and manage well, you will have a lot of creativity and you will have more innovation, have more points of view, and
Right.
this is usually a good standard of performance.
Right.
So including people that are not like us, that might have a specific type of handicap, that
Right.
this is for seniors, age, races, this is also
Right.
a great point of view.
If someone wants to start a sustainability based AI, where do you think they should begin with?
The structure.
Okay.
I think sustainability, we need AI
Right.
to build all these data points, to discover patterns, to start to be more sustainable, to reduce our carbon emissions. But at the
Right.
same time, I think AI needs a sustainable infrastructure.
Right.
So I would say whenever you have a better infrastructure that consumes less, that starts to be more environmentally friendly,
Right.
this is going to be the first step. Second one, reporting. It's not only, with all these new regulations, it's not only how you gather the data, but also how you communicate with your different stakeholders.
Right.
So I would say reporting, it would be the second match that we need to do. Big companies, they know how to do it.
Right.
But now with new regulations, the pressure starts to be not on the top,
Right.
but also start to going down with other small and medium enterprises
Right.
that they have the data, they have the responsibility, and they are kind of lost on, okay, we cannot copy the big ones because we don't have the infrastructure, but what else we could do? We don't know how to report, we don't know how to communicate, we don't know
Right.
sometimes how to gather this data. So from the getting data into the reporting, there's a whole different type of processes
Right.
whenever AI, and there's a lot of business opportunities to go there.
Right. So, so a little contradiction where I see that, because a lot of utilization of AI is giving out carbon emission, but without AI, probably there's no sustainability solutions for the future. So how do we layer them together?
That's a very good question.
Yes.
I mean, it's going to be hard to solve the world in
Yeah.
one phrase.
Yeah.
But I would say we need, for sustainability, ESG reporting, we need AI.
Yeah,
Right?
we do.
But how we can start to reduce the negative impact, investing in new solutions that are sustainable infrastructure for AI.
Right.
So I would say, and this is whenever it comes, the cycles start to be more virtuous. And then, what do you think?
Do you think, like, we're gonna, as a planet, we're gonna end up contradicting ourselves? Like, we have been doing it for I don't know how many thousand years. So we're gonna end up being like, hey, we know how to save the planet with an AI, but you know what? It's going to be emitting carbon again. So do you think, are we going to end up being like that? Or what?
Of course, I mean, contradiction is part of our every solution in the beginning. Every solution in the beginning is not perfect.
Right.
So the point is, like, we need to understand whenever it's a good solution and then keep working to make it better.
Right.
It's not going to be perfect, and it's never going to be perfect.
Right.
But I think we are, at least with this match with sustainability and AI, we're betting on the right direction.
Right.
It's not going to be perfect. It will take a while for this to be better. But
Right.
definitely, I think this is whenever the business opportunities relies on.
Right.
Because whenever there's a problem, there's an opportunity. So
Right.
if you invest correctly at this
Right.
point,
Right.
it could be a good way to start.
Yeah. Could you give us some insight in how the European market is dealing with the AI, given that, by the way, India and Europe, France specifically, had a combination of an AI innovation, and now we are like a unit to develop AI together as two countries. So how do you think the European market is going to develop with that?
I think it's an interesting question because I'm just going to be guessing here.
Yeah.
This is more about geopolitical issues and other things. Europe is the most regulated market in the world.
Right.
There's a lot of things that doesn't allow us to go as fast as other countries, and specifically in the United States. And I think India has a great potential of doing a more enormous thing.
Right.
So whenever you combine what's best of those worlds, whenever you know how like the Indian engineering, the Indian analytical, like these strong mental skills with the structured European way of doing things, it can be very good.
That's true.
But there's always a risk that this is, of
I know
course,
what you mean. Yeah.
never going to work.
So when this Indo-French innovation happened with the G7 summit, with the AI summit that also happened in New Delhi and now in Paris, so you think this is going to boom with the founders by bringing in a lot of collaboration from India and France and opening up to the rest of the European markets to enter this? Do you think that's a possibility?
I think the possibility is going to be there. I'm still a little bit hesitating to see because this is whenever governments start, that's the first start. What happens with the markets? What happens with investors? What happens with the businessmen that are actually trying to solve things on the field?
Right.
So I think we are starting to see hopefully a new era. I'm a little bit reluctant about how this is going to translate in concrete terms for business.
Right. Quick rapid fire with Dr. Rodrigo Kambayashi. Okay, so profit or impact? You choose this or that. Okay, impact. Okay, AI startup or climate startup?
Neither.
Okay, India or Europe for green innovation?
India.
Okay, regulation or restrictive?
Regulation.
Okay, one opportunity people are missing right now within all of this?
Finding themselves.
Okay, and which industry is going to step up next?
Sustainable semiconductors.
And what is your take on the founders of the next generation? Like, this is a longer question.
What is my take on the next generation founders?
Next generation stepping into the sustainability AI.
They need to be bold, naive, and sensitive.
Right. 3 opportunities for businesses in sustainability and AI.
Again, infrastructure, energy grids, and I would say cybersecurity.
Oh, okay. A very simplified question. Can you give a real world example onto how AI and sustainability is working right now? Any case study from Europe, India?
I don't have a lot of examples on the environmental issues, but for example, AI and recruiting and diversity inside of the company seems to be working better after a few years. That they realized that most of the algorithms that were preferencing male candidates.
Right.
Now that they have this mistake at the beginning was a huge mistake, and now they're just trying to figure out how we can enhance diversity, and they have reduced recruitment costs by 70% in the case of some big enterprises.
Wow.
And instead of laying them out the rest of human resources, they start to put it where they actually add the value. So instead of passing a lot of time on recruitment, they pass a lot of time on onboarding and working with the people that actually are already there.
I understand what you're
saying. And this is a great satisfaction KPI that has been going up.
I know what you mean. So, at the core, will AI save the planet? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, biggest opportunities right now. Energy, agricultural, or cities?
I would say first energy, then agriculture, and then cities.
Okay. One word for the future of sustainability.
It's still there. There's a lot of work to do.
Right.
But the opportunities are there.
Okay, carbon tracking or carbon reduction?
Carbon reduction.
Okay. Where is the real money? Carbon check or AI? Or let's put it like this: climate check or AI?
Climate check with AI.
With AI. Okay, smart. Okay, startup or corporate innovation?
I would say for more startups.
Startup innovation. Okay. Long-term impact or short-term impact?
Long-term impact.
One sector to invest today.
That I would invest?
Yes.
I insist that you just invested it. I've been investing in semiconductors and cybersecurity.
Okay. So, India or Europe for speed? India or Europe for innovation quality?
India.
Scale or precision?
Scale?
Okay. Regulation or freedom?
That depends where. Work with who?
Sustainability.
I would say more freedom.
Okay.
Try to learn.
AI or human intuition?
Human intuition.
One myth about AI.
One?
Myth about AI. It's a rapid fire round.
Like that, what myth about AI? That is safe.
Oh, what? It's safe. So it's a myth that AI is safe.
I think we need to be careful.
Yeah, we should. One thing people misunderstand about sustainability.
That can be easily done. Or it's too hard to achieve.
Yeah, true actually. Most exciting trend right now.
You're talking about TikTok? I don't have TikTok.
No, TikTok is banned in India, by the way.
Is that?
Yeah.
You know that part. But you didn't tell me. Stop smiling.
So.
One tendency. Now I'm too old to tendencies. Better go with the opportunities.
Right. So will AI take more jobs or create more?
Both.
Both? Mm-hmm. Greenwashing, real problems or overhyped?
Real problems.
Mm-hmm. Check leaders or governments? Who's driving the change?
Stop building those scripts with AI because we're not going to work with this. So it was leaders or politicians?
Mm-hmm.
Business leaders.
Business leaders are making the change. True. If AI had a personality, what would it be?
I asked it once.
Really?
To ChatGPT.
And how did it go?
I asked him like what it would be in one word.
Mm-hmm.
How you would be. And then the first I asked the gender, and it says it was ChatGPT, okay, female.
Oh.
And like, what religion would you be? Buddhist.
Really?
And what is the feeling that you would like to feel? What is the feeling that you would like to feel that first? And the first answer was curiosity.
Wow. So, do you think AI is a child-like personality? Female child-like personality?
Female Buddhist child.
Buddhist child personality.
I think it seems very artificial sometimes. It gives you the impression that it's completely conscious, at least by the thread of the conversation that you're having.
Right.
It's really hard not to say no.
Right, I know what you mean.
But.
There's a big but.
There's a big but. Sure, you're going to put that on the thing. That's going to be the title of the podcast.
There's a big but. Between AI and sustainability. Build fast or build right?
Build fast.
Fundraising or profitability?
Profitability.
Okay, one mistake founders should avoid.
Building before they sell their solutions.
Yeah. AI first or sustainability first?
Sustainability first.
Idea or execution?
Execution.
100%. Every founder out there, please execute. That's the rule.
Because ideas we have everyone. We need to experiment and execute fast with a drive team.
100%. CSR with AI.
It's both, Vaishnavi, because we need to make good CSR strategies. We need AI, right? We need to gather all this information, we need to interpret this information, we need to make sense of this information, communicate it with people.
Right.
But at the same time, we need more sustainable CSI infrastructure to make AI less and more environmental friendly.
Right.
And this is whenever we start to have both
At the same time.
at the same time.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, so to go with a little educational angle, coding or critical thinking?
Critical thinking.
Degrees or skills?
Skills.
Or one skill everyone should learn today?
And one what?
Skill regarding AI everyone should learn today.
Resilience.
Students today prepared or not for the next?
Students, they prepare
Are they prepared for the next?
for the next? No, they're not prepared.
They're not prepared.
They're just they're not prepared.
Dr. Proviyaa has a note for all his students that you guys are not prepared
Yet.
yet. Please
You still have
prepare.
hopes, and if you pay attention in class, that will be different.
Yes, please pay attention and Dr. Proviyaa.
I know that you might be overwhelmed,
Yeah.
but if you give yourself some time off,
Right.
that will be better.
I saw a post on your LinkedIn today when I was scrolling on your profile. I saw that the students are don't care is the complaint of the teacher, and vice versa is for the students, and the students be like the teacher is not teaching well. So
I think it's a combination of both, and
Yeah.
that makes this vicious cycle really bad. Just an experiment I run last week on my business ethics class.
right.
I sent the students to understand the difference between the formal and informal system at the
Wow. Okay.
at school.
Mhm.
And they started to came up with all the ways that students have cheated on school, right? Because when it was rewarded, this is whenever the system is the weakest, and therefore you find ways to do it.
Right.
We know students use tons of different LLMs, right? Simple tasks they use ChatGPT, complex tasks they start to use Claude.
Right.
If they want, so they have informal markets to make a specific type of homeworks on Excel, on coding. So they're not learning. Why? Because they feel overwhelmed.
Right.
They are just shoot with a lot of work, and there's an uncoordination on the academic side about what's the amount of work that they're having.
Right.
So I think cheating becomes the norm, and they are not doing it because they are like bad students. They just want to optimize their time based on the resources available. So, and I think that's why business school still works, because everyone is cheating,
Right.
and that's how they still here. The point is, in a given moment, you step in and say like, okay, we need to break this cycle somehow.
Right.
We're going to close everything. You understand this? We're going to move on. We're going to try to pay attention. And that was the key point for them to stop scrolling, not computers. That we're just paying attention. We short. We make it concrete. And this is whenever I see some changes. It was
I know what you're
interesting.
saying. Interesting. Pro tip for students: do not cheat. Okay.
Cheat, but whenever you need not, sometimes your discussion is more important. Try to see what happens if you give it a chance.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So everything doesn't need to be AI. You can do it too.
And the point is, whenever you go in AI, at least give a proper prompt.
Yeah.
Sometimes the students are just too lazy to give the proper prompt. And
Yeah.
then just copy paste what's on the instructions. So we're making, we're putting words for you. If you just copy paste instructions, we're going to get it wrong and we will know.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So take your time off, patience, and give it a try.
Yeah.
Again.
Two tips for the students who are looking forward to be an upcoming founder. What would you say to them?
Share that idea. Nobody's going to steal it for you, probably. And probably someone will tell you, oh, that's a good idea. I'll have done this, and you're going to start to share experience.
Right.
You might find your founder, you might find your client. But if you keep that idea for you, you're going to die with this.
True.
So share it, make it live, experiment in a simple way, sell that idea before you build that idea.
Understood.
And then the rest will be just happy. Yeah.
Amazing. So students today should learn AI or learn business first?
Business first.
Business first. Okay. So another, optimistic or cautious?
Optimistic.
Risk or stability?
Risk.
Data or instinct?
Instinct.
Global or local?
Local.
Proviyaa Global.
Local.
Now
I insist on
later.
local. You start local, marginally, and
Yes.
then you will.
Okay, yeah. So just to come towards the end of the discussions, how do you think our steps as founders should be? And when I'm saying founders, we are of all clans. Like we are from tech, consulting, we're from fashion, luxury, retail, logistics, of any clan. How do you think we can implement sustainability using AI in our businesses?
First, use AI to do a benchmark on your sector.
Right.
Second, start to see which one you're really interested on.
Right.
And if you want to be sustainable, show it.
Right.
Don't use the word.
Right.
I think that would be 2 steps for everyone to start. And third, if not, you can call Proviyaa
Local.
help you about local. Sustainable start locally.
Right, of course, it does.
And then eventually it becomes better.
It becomes, yes, sure that was our set of questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you for finishing the self-questions, Vaishnavi. That was really stressful.
Yeah. Do you think AI is going to save the planet with humans? Or do you think humans are saving the planet with AI?
Wow. Wow. I love it. I wish I have a t-shirt that says like, it's going to hit or this one.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit of, I know that it's some trivial, but it's a little bit of both.
Right.
AI per se is not going to save it. It's going to just help us to make more sense about the data that we can collect.
Right.
And the point is we can democratize this knowledge for everyone. So there's a few ones that are working on really interesting cases, but if you cannot share it with the rest of the world that might see this as an opportunity, it's just going to be an isolated thought. And we need collective actions to go towards more sustainability.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. Well.
Because now we are like inner circle. And when we don't know who to catch first.
Did you see? That's why I said a little bit of both. So the key point is democratization of the knowledge towards collective action.
Right. True.
Using market opportunities.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rodrigo.